Okay, so it seems that there's been another little bit of drama over in the Wuthering Waves community, and this time it's to do with one of the creators being Maygi. Now, if you don't know, Maygi is a content creator who I'm pretty sure specifically is over on YouTube and also on Twitch, and essentially they do a lot of spreadsheeting and a lot of kind of guide making stuff, you know? They do stuff to do with the actual game itself, and they just, you know, open up spreadsheets, do calculations, whatever, and it's usually been pretty informative. I've used some of their stuff before whenever I've, you know, just been trying to improve stuff in my game personally, and obviously, yeah, they seem to be a pretty good content creator in that kind of sense. But they recently actually released a video saying Kuro Games ended my career, Wuthering Waves. Now, they talk about their overall kind of experience with Wuthering Waves content creation, and essentially the fact that they also got removed from the creator program. They got removed from it completely, and that, you know, they've received a lot of complaints that they were leaking. Now, obviously, this is what you know, Maygi is saying, and that's what she says happened to her, and I think, you know, maybe that is the case, but obviously there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming out recently of like kind of leaked DMs and everything like that, or like leaked server DMs, sorry, like not actual DMs, like, you know, messages in a server, and also other things of previous like kind of leaked content that they've been covering, which obviously, you know, has all been revealed now as true. But again, it does seem a little bit fishy. Now, I do want to be fair to Maygi. I think they are a good content creator, and I don't think they purposely tried to include leaks or anything into their posts. But, you know, there has been this whole post over on the Gacha Police saying Maygi Blood thought he was sick. She trying to gather the mob mentality in her favor while everyone is against Kuroha. She says that she was mass reported for leaks, which she is false report. Then why is there a leaks channel in your Discord when you're a official CC? Now, again, that is kind of crazy if that is true, and obviously a lot of this information that we're about to go through here, I don't know how much of this is true and how much of this is fake. This is all information that's been presented to the Gacha Police, and that has been kind of presented in the last couple of hours, which obviously kind of changes up the entire narrative. You know, obviously the original narrative is the fact that Kuro Games kind of unfairly you know, banned her, and that, you know, maybe she covered leaks in the past, but, you know, didn't anymore, and, you know, that was why she got banned. But I feel like there is a completely different kind of story that is going on here, with obviously the first post being this here saying, I dug around more, before she was suspended she had a leaks channel in a Discord, and obviously they were hinting at stuff to do with Zany and her kit and everything like that, obviously, which has been revealed in the live stream. The fact that she uses Spectral Frazzle, sorry, and obviously, yeah, Maygi hinted at that a lot in her content, which obviously, you know, kind of proves the fact that she was looking at leaks in general. Now, you know, do you think it's on purpose? Probably not. And obviously, you could just kind of put that down to speculation. But obviously, you know, she got it completely right, and there was a lot of rumors kind of floating around about that. So again, we don't really know. But obviously, we got as well saying, guess what? She's a part of Gateo's community as well. You can check yourself. Which again, these are all messages apparently from Gateo's community. There isn't actually any kind of evidence of this is actually Gateo's community at all. I'm sure if you guys go look, you know, you can find out for yourself. But this is the kind of information that is being, you know, thrown about. They're saying, men, guys, trust me, I don't look at leaks. Kuro is bad. They're in the next Hoyo. I don't really know if she says that she doesn't look at leaks. Obviously, I watched the video through as a whole. I'm not sure if she denies the fact that she's looked at leaks at all. But it definitely is clear that there is some kind of leak content kind of, I guess, seeping into some of her content, which obviously can affect things. So I feel like they're going a little bit too hard on that. But it does seem pretty bad whenever it comes to, you know, stuff that's been included in videos. Obviously, yeah, there's been all of this stuff as well, which has been kind of crazy. And obviously, we keep going as well. It's saying leaking cantarella damage calc before release, which again isn't great at all. They say very accurate speculation, truly a speculator of all time. Again, this is a kind of common rumor, so I don't really know if this was just straight up leaks or if this was the fact that, you know, it was just a common rumor. Which obviously, yeah, I think a lot of these rumors were fueled by leaks. So again, it's kind of hard to say, I think, with this situation. And they say, and guess what, guys, rumors about Zany have amazing synergy with Peeb and consuming Spectro Frazzle stacks. We're spreading this time around literally even a smoother brainer can tell you, bro, look at leaks. I don't really know what to say there. Obviously, it's a little bit kind of incoherent. I'm disappointed as someone who watched Maygi in her content. I felt like I can I could watch a wuwa CC who just doesn't try to be a drama farmer and put in helpful content, but after seeing what she tried to do, I'd rather just have drama farmers as CCs for wuwa than CCs like her, which is kind of crazy. Now, obviously, you know, there's been other posts as well saying, oh, he wants to farm all right, which is Tectone, who actually commented on this video, I'm pretty sure, saying, like, if you need help, come message me, which I can't actually find in the original comments itself, but I'm guessing it's there if it was screenshotted. Obviously, yeah, it says, you know, if you need help, and then Maygi puts, oh, he wants to farm all right, which I don't know if that's a negative thing or a positive thing, but the chat took that as a pretty negative thing. Obviously, some people don't like Tectone. It's very, very clear, and, you know, it's fine if you don't, but, you know, it seems like he's trying to help. I feel like there's no reason to really attack him or, like, kind of paint him in a bad light just because he's trying to help you. It's just like, okay, you know, that doesn't look very good, especially whenever you're in a situation like this. If you're asking for help and saying the fact that Kuro ended your career, I think, you know, Tectone, one of the biggest creators in the space and has contacts with Wuthering Waves and everything, will probably be your best bet as to try get back into this kind of community and try to kind of fix a lot of the stuff that's gone on. But kind of, you know, mocking him, it's like, you know, it's not really going to help your case. Now, obviously, they're saying, what are you even doing in a leaked server? Apparently, this is a Fractured Shores. I don't really know what this server is at all, but they're in Leaks General here talking, which, yeah, is kind of crazy. Even more of them talking as well in this server, which, again, it seems like this person has gone through and dug up, like, every single screenshot ever, which, honestly, I think is a little bit weird. I feel like it's a little bit weird to be kind of watching them this much, but it seems like not just from this person as well. There's been many people that have been posting similar screenshots of, you know, her in different communities, different leak communities, and saying different things. For example, here, saying because he's too busy sucking off Kuro. Crazy, the only Genshin killer is Wuthering Waves, the best game with the most listening devs ever. Devs listen, Kuro is better than. It's because Kuro respects your time. That means that content creators have less content, not us. The great loyal Kuro player. So I don't know what they're on about there, which again goes crazy. They say Kuro takes another L. Maygi was banned from the creator program. This is obviously over on Reddit. This got 2.3 upvotes, 2.3k upvotes. Obviously, this was the rest of the message of the he's trying to get in on this kind of message. They're saying just delete the comment, just delete and block him. That might actually be the fact as to why I can't see Tectone's comment in here, which again is kind of crazy. You know, people saying that, you know, he's trying to get into this thing. Obviously, yes, it's going to benefit him a lot, but let's be real, it's going to benefit him a lot either way. You know, whether he helps her or whether he doesn't, he's still going to farm the content on this and he's still going to get that back. You know, I don't think it really makes a difference. And honestly, I think it would be better off, you know, accepting this help. You know, Tectone has helped many people. He's helped me, you know, my Gamer Sub sponsor, that was all Tectone, you know, he helped me get that. And I think he helps a lot of content creators in the space. And, you know, people just kind of going after him and kind of just like, I guess, inflaming him for just wanting to help someone. It's just like, okay, like, why would you even do that in the first place? He's just trying to help. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that's happened. And obviously, you know, I don't know how many of these screenshots are true. It's kind of crazy if someone has made up every single one of these screenshots and they're all fake, which I just find really hard to believe, the fact that, you know, there are so many like this. And yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. And the thing is, I don't even like log on to the betas. I just use sites that data mine all the numbers, which again, I feel like isn't one of the best things you can do as a content creator. Obviously, even more saying, wait, I just watched Gacha enjoys content. Actually, peak content creator, to be honest. We all know what Gacha Enjoyer is like. I don't really need to say much more about that. They say, I wouldn't sell my soul to make clickbait crap. Well, you know, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not really clickbait, to be honest. It is true. You know, she did get suspended. They're saying adjustments she did is put theory speculation in every sentence so she can say I was predicting. Which, again, it's kind of crazy. I feel like a lot of people are getting pretty angry about that, and the fact that, you know, she's just been saying, like, this is just speculation, guys. This is just rumors, and that pretty much kind of negates the fact that she's just been, like, kind of indulging in a little bit of leaks. But again, I feel like this situation has been blown, like, massively up, and obviously, I feel like there's been this whole situation of her looking leaks, and it seems like there has been a lot of evidence behind this, you know? Does it mean that she should be kicked out of the kind of Wuthering Waves thing? I don't really know. It depends on the amount of, I guess, leak content that she's been covering on the videos. Obviously, there's a lot of proof here, but if it's just like small little speculation things like that Zani thing, I don't think it's the end of the world. But like, if there's been even more content in these videos, then I definitely do think maybe it was kind of deserved, you know? And there's also a post by Ryuku as well, which came up, which was pretty much saying that apparently there's some other stuff behind this. And the fact that, you know, if she doesn't like say what it is, that he was going to. Again, here it is. You got Ryuku's page saying, make the video, Maygi, or I will. As I said, I won't wait long. I'm giving her the chance to come clean about the actual reason she got removed. We've spoken in DMs. She's given excuses, but the video of hers is extremely disingenuous, which, again, might be the product of a lot of this kind of evidence that we've seen, and maybe Ryuku is just going to double down on this. I don't really know, but it's going to be one of these really interesting situations, which I think is going to develop over time, and I'll definitely keep you guys up to date with what is going on. Obviously, I don't like creator drama. This is one of the worst kind of dramas, I feel like, in the community. I don't mind talking about, like, Hoyo shields are attacking this, Hoyo shields are attacking that, Kuro bots are going here and that. That's fine. I don't really mind that content, to be honest. It's because it's just like, you know, you're attacking a company, you're attacking whatever, you're attacking like a large group of people. Whenever it comes to actual kind of content creators itself, I want to be as fair as possible. So, you know, I want to see what Maygi has to say to all of this kind of evidence, and hopefully, you know, she can provide a response, because I do want to be, you know, fair. You know, a lot of this evidence does look pretty bad, and it looks pretty bad for Maygi at the moment. But hey, maybe there's even more to this, and it feels like with a lot of Ryuku's messages as well, it's the fact that, you know, there's a little bit more that we don't understand at the moment, which could come out in the future. And obviously, you know, so far with a lot of what I've seen, it does seem like this was kind of justified. You know, the fact that, you know, there's all this leak content, you know, constantly kind of engaging in leaked general chats, kind of, you know, going pretty crazy at these creators as well, is kind of insane. And there's even more screenshots around in the community. If you guys want to go look on the Gacha Police, there's been even more screenshots and stuff, but this was the main thread that I could find covering a lot of the main things. But again, it is one of these kind of crazy situations which has been going on at the moment. And obviously, there's also this one post as well, which I did miss out on, saying this is honestly the best time for me to make this video, talking about the Kuro Games Ended My Career video. And they're saying, talking about the negative situation as we will CC, and how scuffed their system is while everyone is raging at Kuro. So this seems like a planned video with all the kind of hatred towards Wuthering Waves at the moment, with a lot of the 2.3 live stream and people being upset at the rewards. I feel like this was planned as well to spark a little bit more outrage towards Wuthering Waves, which again, if you're trying to like just release a very genuine video at the fact of, hey guys, my career is like kind of ruined at the moment due to the fact, you know, I've been kicked out of this and everything like that, kind of like, you know, ignoring the fact that Tectone's trying to help you out, and also, you know, which I guess is fine, but, you know, if you really wanted help, I would definitely take Tectone's help. He would definitely help you out there. And also saying that I'm going to upload this at a time when anger is at an all-time high for Wuthering Waves, because, you know, it will do better. It's just like, brother, like, it does seem pretty bad. But again, maybe some of these messages are fake. I don't know. You know, I think it is very important to take this with a huge grain of salt, and a huge grain of pretty much anything. Okay, and it doesn't end there. I actually had to make a kind of second part, I guess, to this whole entire thing, because there's also this post which has come out on r/Wuthering Waves by Maygi herself, and also the video from Ryuku literally just dropped as I was recording. So again, they're saying, explaining why I got suspended as a wuwa creator. They say, hi everyone, what I'm posting here is typically a text guide, but this time it's something a little bit different. Recently, I've been removed from the wuwa content creator program under the grounds of multiple complaints of suspected involvement with leaks. I've attempted to appeal this with Kuro, but they haven't addressed my appeal and only continued to repeat themselves before ghosting me in the meantime. I've made a very short video to announce the fact that I've decided to hold off on more information until the situation is sorted out with Kuro. So again, they go into saying like, but you did leak pre-release calcs. It doesn't take a genius to know that to get a video out on day one, math needs to be done ahead of time. While I'm not sourcing the leaks by logging into betas and spreading them, I use values from sites such as Wuthering Wiki. I understand that this is technically still working with a leak, so she's working with a leak. But all my content, my videos, and text guides are not released until the patch is ready, similar to other creators. However, the one difference is that I stream my theory crafting process. I'm crossing a very gray line here and is a mistake. So again, I feel like, you know, that's justified. I feel like, you know, Wuthering Waves' actions have been justified if you say, you know, you have made a mistake there. Like, regardless of it being a mistake or not, I feel like you still did look at leaks. You still did kind of promote leaks, and even with some of that kind of data we looked at before in that Twitter thread, you know, you're still even including some of it in the videos before information has even come out. Now, I say I do it because the theorycraft process takes me 20 to 30 hours, and the rest of the production process requires me to be offline, heads down, working for another 20 hours. So I just wanted to stream to not be dead. They say What about the zany thing? In February, I made a video with the caption of what if a future character consumes spectrofrazzle. This wasn't a leak at all, actually, at least not in the way that people think. Zany wasn't even playable until the most recent beta a week ago, but again, this video was back in February. The basis for the video was based on miscommunication from the creator side, where in patch 2.1, the creator program gave out some information packets to creators regarding negative statuses, urging us to use it to make content. It was not stated to be confidential or not to be shared. The information itself was extremely basic, with generic descriptions for various negative statuses that can be found in the game. However, there was one specific hint that was written regarding maybe a potential future character might do this. Seeing that we were told to make content using this, I did exactly that, but it did raise an eyebrow and reach out to my Kuro staff contact. I managed to get in contact with the one who wrote the document and saying they weren't even aware that got sent out. Yet alone, the creator program had said to use it for content. The staff had explained it wasn't meant to be directly quoted in that way that I did in my initial video, but it was okay for me to write it off as speculation. So I republished the video and they thanked me for pointing out the problem, as they eventually reached to the creator program and had sent out a update to clarify how it wouldn't be used to handle the information, which, you know, I think that's fine. I think it's fine that there was maybe a mistake with the Wuthering Waves staff itself, and that the fact that this actually accidentally got sent out. But I do think there's been other cases, and obviously, you know, with a lot of this kind of information of them going back into the leaks channel and stuff, it does seem pretty bad. Now, obviously, there's a TLDR here saying, I'm not perfect, I've done things that go against the rules of the program, which is pretty much where it should end, to be honest. You know, I'm not perfect, I've done things that go against the rules of the program. And we could even shorten that down to, I've done things that go against the rules of the program. You know, that's all that really needs to be said. And, you know, if that is the case, then maybe, you know, I don't know why you're acting like the victim. You know, I feel like it is a little bit weird to be acting like the victim, especially, you know, whenever you literally admit that you have done things that goes against the rules. If you do things that goes against the rules, you get banned. Like, I'm pretty sure that is a case. I do want to be fair here, but, you know, it does kind of seem like, you know, she's trying to farm a little bit of sympathy here. And it seems like, you know, she did go against the rules and she ended up getting the repercussions for going against the rules, you know? And, you know, it's okay not to be perfect, but the fact is, you know, you're still going to get banned, you know, no matter what. And I feel like kind of complaining about the fact, you know, you did break the rules. They say, I think the title of your video needs to change. Career ended my career. It's very extreme. Something that you acknowledge isn't completely unjustified and is unnecessary, spiteful towards career games, which is definitely true. And obviously, this is what Ryuku kind of covers in this video. It's a 19-minute long video saying this Maygi situation needs to be cleared up. Now, obviously, yeah, this has been a pretty big situation, and I'll probably release this video soon after the Ryuku video actually comes out. So yeah, overall, pretty crazy situation. Obviously, Ryuku goes on to read this post as well, goes to read a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, and pretty much says that she's been trying to act like the victim here. And, you know, I don't really know if, you know, that's fully the case. I do kind of see it because, again, obviously this post, which again, I think is going to be very confusing to see what happens with this in the future and if there's even more stuff that comes out. But so far, this has been a pretty crazy situation, and that is pretty much all I can give you in terms of an update. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this is going to be a big problem in the future, or do you think that maybe, you know, it's not as big as some people are making it out to be? But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And let's go to GameStop, use my code CANCER, get 10% off, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.